Hey there, everyone. Meteorologist Ashley Baylor here in the News 8 Now Stream Center. We are making our way through the week. We have finally hit Wednesday, and we have finally hit some decent weather, too. The first couple of days of the work and school week haven't been great, and I can't even say the weekend was overly stellar. So we've been waiting for the sunshine for a little while. Although the sunshine brought a little friend here, we are also dealing with a little faint smoke in the atmosphere. It's not giving us an air quality alert. You might notice it at times. It's really not a big deal, but once again, coming in all the way from Canada, and guess what? Coming all the way from Miami, I have to introduce our summer intern. This is Matt Reardon, everybody. We are so happy to have him here. You know what, Matt? Let me turn your mic up. Maybe that would help too. Matt, you got to tell everybody, so you're coming from Miami, but you're from Connecticut.
Yep, I'm from Essex. I've been here for 15 years, but I'm going to be a senior at the University of Miami. Go Canes.
I mean, that was perfect. Hurricanes, no
Yep.
less. Now, speaking of hurricanes, let everybody know what got you interested in weather. What made you want to be a meteorologist?
I've loved the weather for pretty much my whole life, but there's definitely a couple storms which have really sparked that fire in me. Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Irene, and the blizzard of 2013 are just a couple of my favorites. But I'm paying attention to most storms when they happen.
So you're talking about the blizzard of 2013?
Yep.
Yeah. Most people are like, oh, going back to the blizzard of 78, because, I hear that so much, because I'm older than he is. But when I was up and coming in the ranks, I heard from so many people, the blizzard of 78 really inspired me. For me, it was Hurricane Andrew, which was back in 1992. I'm 41 for those playing the home game. So it's always so fascinating. People wonder how meteorologists decide that we want to do this for a living. And more often than not, it's usually some weather phenomenon that has inspired that.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like the weather chooses us more than we choose it.
That's a good way to put it. The weather chooses us. I think it's a great way to put it. So, Matt, we're going to get into our forecast here. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go right to our weather graphics here. We're looking at our satellite and radar composite where we do have some fair weather cumulus clouds out there. So Matt and myself will tell you that how do we get these cumulus clouds? Well, the sun heats up the ground. As that warm air rises, it cools and condenses, and that's how we get these puffy clouds, but then they tend to fizzle out once we start to lose the heat of the day. Now let's talk about this faint smoke that we have out there. This is a look at our smoke forecast. This is actually what's going on right now, and it's a little more noticeable closer to the shoreline, but it's not as dense as it was, was it last week or the week before? These weeks are just flying by here. But anyway, as we go into tomorrow, again, a little bit of faint smoke out there, so the sky may have that milky tint to it at times. Again, not a huge deal. We're not expecting any air quality alerts. And in fact, the last time we had the smoke with those air quality alerts, it was actually because of the heat and humidity. So it was that ground level ozone that caused that air quality alert. Here's a look in Hartford. Again, that tint to the sky. It is 82 degrees in the capital city. Here's a look in Long Wharf, where we are at 79 degrees. So at least no matter where you are across the state, it is nice and warm, even up in the Litchfield Hills. It is 76 degrees in Torrington, 81 in Bridgeport, a cooler 73 in New London. Now, earlier when we were on at News 8 at noon, some of those dew points were still hanging out in the low to mid 60s along the shoreline. You can see most of the numbers have dropped back into the 50s. So when we have dew points in the 50s, that indicates a nice, comfortable air mass. But yeah, when that dew point steps over the 60-degree mark is when you start to feel that little bit of stickiness in the atmosphere. But it's not uncomfortable on a day like this. If we were in the 90s, I'd say something else. But winds are pretty variable, ranging anywhere from 6 to about 13 miles per hour, so a little bit of an onshore breeze. Our hour by hour are showing you mainly clear skies overnight. Temperatures are going to drop into the low and mid 60s, so it is going to be a fairly mild night. And if you don't have a chance to enjoy the beautiful weather this afternoon, you'll have another chance tomorrow. As you can see, we'll have plenty of sunshine and temperatures will be a little bit warmer, topping out more in the mid to upper 80s across the state. Does it last? Of course it doesn't last. You know how this goes here. Mainly clear, quiet tonight. We'll drop into the low and mid 60s, and then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Another warm one with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Now, I do think we'll see a few clouds move in Thursday night into Friday, I should say. So more of a mix of sun and clouds on Friday. Temperatures will be quite comfortable, topping out anywhere from the mid to upper 70s to about 80 degrees. So we're fine for Friday. Now, going into the weekend, we know it's about to be our 16th weekend in a row with some form of rain showers, whether it's a trace of rain all the way to over an inch. no day looks like a washout from start to finish. So there's my silver lining. But we are going to be looking at more clouds on Saturday. There will be a few passing showers. Naturally, that's going to knock temperatures back a little bit. So we'll be in the lower 70s on Saturday. It gets even cooler for Sunday. Sunday, we're not only looking at some spotty showers, but highs will only be in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees. So for Dad that maybe wanted to be out cutting the lawn, relaxing the hammock, out on the golf course, whatever it may be, unfortunately, I don't have the best news for Sunday. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Darren Kramer. But going into next week, yeah, some of the clouds are going to drag their heels a little bit. Monday, it's going to stay on the cool side. Might be looking at a chance of showers on Tuesday. I just introduced that back into the forecast. I tell you, sometimes these models, they have more flip-flops than Waikiki. But anyway, I do think by at least next Wednesday and Thursday, things start to calm down a little bit. Famous last words, I tell you right now. So, Matt, what do we think of the forecast? Am I doing a decent enough job here?
Yeah. Couple of nice days here.
Yeah.
Glad to have it. But, yeah, of course, that rain's going to come back for the weekend.
I tell you, what, June can be a little bit of a temperamental month. People don't realize that, but you really are starting to get on the back edge of the transitional season from spring getting into summer. So especially in New England, I have seen some June days where it's 40s or 50s and straight up raining, not like you would think of a June anywhere else. So let's see how it goes, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's see how we do here. All right. That's it. That's enough out of us, don't you think? All right. We'll probably be bringing Matt back on at some point to let him say hi to you. But in the meantime, I got some animals to take care of tomorrow. I got to shoot Tales of Tales tomorrow. That'll be airing Monday at 10 o'clock. We have some really, really good ones coming on. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll catch you back later.